Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people, fellow humans. HUEMONDS, colorful nuts. Here we are once again. Today is Monday, February 16th, 2026. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning here in southwestern Nevada. My name is Edward Bevilacqua, and this is Department of Career Services. Our goal is to help our students and interested people on this life. Today is day 1, week 4 in our state pen workbook, a neuroscience approach to success. Neuroscience as opposed to psychology, pop culture, astrology, meteorology, neurolinguistic programming, cognitive behavior therapy. Those are psychological things. This is a neuroscience, meaning we really focus on what's going on in our brains on a cellular and subcellular level. What's going on with the reticular activating system? How can we use it to help guide us, pull us through the world? And that's broken into 4 weeks of 7 lessons per week. 4 weeks. First week, overview and orientation. Why are we here? To answer 2 questions. Who am I? Why do I behave the way I do? On a neuroscience level, on a cellular and subcellular level. I've got over 100 million cells in my body. None of them know who I am. None of them care who I am. And yet I am me. I can lift up this cup of coffee just by thinking about it, without even thinking about it even. How does that happen? Okay, week 2. And then also that sets us up for think of life as an adventure. We have to build a boat. And we have to get people to help us man that boat. And then when we go on the adventure, we need to be prepared for the highs and the lows, the good and the bad of that adventure so we can make the most of the adventure. That's it. So we help our students and interested people on that journey. So if you fit into the category of interested persons, you should approach this from a perspective of what do they think, more like a child than an expert than somebody critical criticizing him. What do they think? Okay, how can I improve upon that? Or can I take anything of that and use it myself? Alrighty then. Next. Okay, so those are the 4 weeks. Today is day 1 of week 4. This is the week we call leadership. Leadership is the polite word for power. Power is really value neutral. It's like money. Power is value neutral. It's like a hammer. It's value neutral. Hammers aren't good or bad. How you use them is good or bad. Money isn't good or bad. How you use it is good or bad. Power isn't good or bad. It's how you use it that's good or bad. Power is just the ability to get other people to do what you want. So you have a lot of power, you can get a lot of people to do what you want, or you have a little bit of power. And power is key for success. You've got to get other people to do what you want them to do. All right, so this week, leadership, really it's power, but power again, you say power and people are value charged by it. Oh, you're manipulating. Well, that's one form of power. Power goes on a spectrum, right? From negative to positive. Here, it's neither negative nor positive. motivation, positive use of power, compliments, encouragement. Those are positive ways. Reward, positive ways to get people to do what you want. The highest way would be self-motivation. I don't need to motivate you. I need to teach you how to self-motivate you to do what I want you to do. So the best example of that is religion. Nationalism is another one. You don't need to tell me about this. I'm going to go do it myself. I'm going to go read my Bible, and I'm going to do what my Bible tells me to do. Self-motivation. The other way, the negative way, threats, coercion, intimidation, manipulation. Those are negative ways. We don't do the negative stuff. It's unnecessary, and it's not really efficient. If you want to get people to do what you want by locking them up, it gets to be very expensive because they're always trying to get out. Right? Versus if you self-motivate people, wherever they go, they'll take the message. So it's financially or economically, the positive way to do things is much better than the negative way. All right. So next, day 1, week 4. This week, today, we're going to start with crisis leadership. Everything is going bad. Tomorrow, we're going to do the opposite. Perfect leadership. Everything is going great. And the rest of the week, we're going to focus in between, and we're going to use Ignatius of Loyola, not Ignatius of Antioch, Ignatius of Loyola as one guide, one sample, one person we could copy and use Ignatius of Loyola. And number 2, Stoicism. So both of those pass the categorical imperative test, which we'll probably talk about too. But today, again, it is crisis leadership with Nancy Kane, Harvard Business School professor, who has been very helpful for us for the last 14 years. Yeah. To find out what Nancy Kane is doing now. All righty then. So let's get started. We'll go to our worksheet, which is available down below in the description. While you're there, you should click on the bell, subscribe, click on the bell, share, you know the thing. And we see that our theme of today is crisis leadership. And we scroll down to advice from an 80-year-old. Advice from an 80-year-old, marry only for love. What? Yeah, marry only for love. What does that mean? Well, here in America, we don't mean love, we mean infatuation. We mean where your hormones and neurotransmitters are firing dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, where we have a high surge of neurochemicals. Our rational mind is turned off. Our emotional mind is heightened. So we tend to marry because we love someone, but that love is artificial. It's not based on much history. Like families agreeing to this and supporting it. Here, it's more like the kids have run off and gotten married. We don't really know the kid. We met the guy a few times. We don't really know him. Seems like a good guy, but he has not been tested. Don't know, haven't seen him grow up. Don't know his character, don't know his family, don't know what they're all about, where they're friends. So it's based on, it's fragile. But they love one another. They've been going out for several years. Okay, cool. That's the Western way. And we have a high level of divorce. So marry only for love depends upon what you mean by love. If you mean heightened hormonal activity, the problem with that is it will level off. Hedonic adaptation, you get used to it. Doesn't matter how excited or revved up you are if you don't have a solid foundation. Once the hormonal stuff goes away, then it's now you're left with the harsh realities of life. And then people grow apart and things are not good, and kids are raised without two parents committed to them. Where Jordan Peterson says things like, love is people who come together to make both of them more complete and have a desire to properly raise kids. That the kid part, bringing kids into the world, is a very important part of the idea of marriage. It's not me and you, it's so the Catholic thing would be to will the good of the other for the other. I want you to be the best you can be. You want me to be the best. We're going to help each other do that. We're going to help each other do that together. And with Jordan Peterson, because we're going to bring good kids into the world. We're going to make the world a better place. We're going to have the fruit of our union, children. Yeah. Because that's what we're driven to do on a evolutionary level. Okay, so marry only for love. What do you mean by love? The answer to that would be, what do you mean by love? And I would say it would be the Christian, the Catholic / Petersonian view. I will the good of the other for the other. I will do what it takes to help make you complete, because it's for you, not for me, not because I get something out of it, but because that I love you. I want you to be safe, secure, complete, etc., and to create and raise kids together. All right, that would be a good version. Next, Seth Godin. Let's see what Seth Godin has to say. Seth Godin, where are you at? Mysterious predictability. Mysterious predictability. A watched pot will boil. As it heats up, there's no way to predict where the cavitation will start and what bubble will arrive first, but with enough time and enough heat, it's going to boil. The tree down the street is going to lose its leaves this winter. We don't know which leaf will go last, but we can be pretty sure they'll go sooner or later. Complex systems can be predictable, even when any individual node in the system seems unknowable. True. One of the traps that marketing measurement presents is our unwillingness to consider populations instead of individuals. One of the traps that marketing measurement presents is our unwillingness to consider populations instead of individuals. I'm not sure what that means, but it's from Seth Godin, so we know that it is good. All righty then. Let's see, what does Jordan Peterson talk about? Bullies. Jordan Peterson talks about bullies today in the short little thing. And it is true, where'd he go? Bullies, yeah. It's true that bullies exploit a weakness in someone's character. They find something as the point of attack, but it's really the weakness in character. So somebody gets bothered by it. So the person who gets bullied is the person who's overly sensitive because you can get to them. Yeah, feels good, right? Type of thing. Maybe they have funny glasses, funny hair, a freckle, a mole. There's something out of the norm with that person, and the bully will attack that thing. And the problem is, or they'll keep going because they get a reaction. They have power over the person. They can control that person's emotions. And fundamentally, that's what a lot of people like to do. Power, getting other people to do what you want. I want you to get upset. I want you to cry. They go to the dark side. Okay, enough of that. Nancy Kane, leadership. There will be highs, there will be lows. You want your life to be like this, not smooth, because it won't be, not ka-chunk. That happens a lot, and you start over. But just to get a series of ups and downs, but the trend is upward. Don't look at the individual days, look at the trend. The trend is upward. Why? Because we're able to handle the lows better every time. We learn from them so they don't keep driving down, down, down. We adjust and keep moving forward. That's how to look at it. They will always be boredom, frustration, ennui. That's a word Nancy Kane uses. It sounds good. Ennui. There'll always be those times. It's how you respond to those times that pulls you out of it quickly and you keep moving forward. And when you're competing with two people, with another person, say, and you both hit the down, if you can react and that person goes down, now the gap gets wider. That's how important controlling emotions is and are. Also, IQ will have a tendency to do this: lower IQ, higher IQ. This person's way back here. This person's up here. Why? Because they figured it out faster, because they have a higher IQ. Okay, so in Nancy Kane's talk, she talks about crisis leadership, keeping going, because what she says, and her talk is quite old, it's at least 10 years old, projecting into the future. And she says that we have about 7 to 10 years, I think she said 7 to 10 years, to get ready for how we move into the future. And at the time she said it, a lot of big things were happening in the world that were different. A lot of VUCA, she called volatility, uncertainty, complexity, ambiguity. A lot of that was going on in the world. Today it is the norm. VUCA is the norm today. A lot of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So she talked about the old playbook of the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Rip it up. Doesn't work, where that's where you get a lot of information and we can figure out how to proceed. So with VUCA, that doesn't work. What you need is wisdom, not knowledge. You need wisdom. So you have a lot of wisdom, a little bit of knowledge, and you put those two together and you figure out the best course through the situation. And so her talk is about nuggets of wisdom, 11 nuggets of wisdom. And she has about half of them from President Lincoln, the other half from Ernest Shackleton. And these are about when it was really, really, really bad. So Lincoln during the Civil War, Shackleton after his boat sunk in the Antarctica. Great stuff. More on it tomorrow, but its time is up. We are going to say and cut.